So there's these unsaved Calvinists out there, and all these guys do is just go around and deceive everybody. I mean, now they're at the point where they'll lie about even being Calvinists, like these unsaved sovereign grace freaks. And all these people do is just go around and give Christianity a bad name. And in fact, these people have more in common with Muslims and Islam than they even do with Christianity. I mean, just think about it. They preach another Jesus. They have a false God. They say that their God is evil and the best of deceivers. It's just quite apparent that they're pretty much the same. And in fact, the Muslim sources, their hadiths and the Quran, actually teach what Calvinists teach. It's the same thing. And so today I have two different quotes I'd like to read for you. The first one is, "It is not for any soul to believe, save by the permission of Allah. He hath set uncleanness upon those who have no sense." Now, this is just obviously Calvinism. And in fact, the picture up on screen is made by a Muslim who recognizes that and realizes that, the Calvinists, they're pretty much just Muslims. All you need to do is just read to them what the Quran says and what the Hadiths say, and they'll be happy to convert. And the other quote I'd like to read is, "Abu Hurairah reported Allah's messenger," which is Muhammad, as saying, "Allah fixed the very portion of adultery which a man will indulge in. There would be no escape from it." So right there, it's teaching Calvinistic doctrine, saying that Allah has predestined you to commit a certain number of sins and you cannot escape from the fate that he's predestined you to. Now, if that's not Calvinism, I'm not sure what is. Well, it's just readily apparent that these men just share more with the Muslims than they do with us. And in fact, under the Calvinistic worldview, Muhammad is actually a prophet of God. Now, I mean, really, everyone is a prophet of God under the Calvinistic worldview, if you think about it, because everyone's just saying exactly what God told them to say. So there's no real difference. So there's no real difference between a prophet from the Bible versus a Calvinistic prophet. I mean, if you really even think about it, what's the difference between a biblical prophet and what Calvinists believe? Because they believe that God forced every man to say exactly what God commanded them to and predestined them to say. Is the only difference with the prophets in the Bible just God audibly told them what to say? I mean, it makes no real sense. It's just really stupid. But going back to Muhammad being a prophet under Calvinism, I mean, they believe that God predestined Muhammad to say every single thing that he said. I just think it's a little interesting that Muhammad actually was preaching their doctrine and not the doctrine from the Bible. So, what are the Calvinists going to say about this? Are they just going to say, well, God just forced Muhammad to say all that as a testimony for his sovereignty and his divine power, or something stupid like that? I mean, it's just ridiculous. These Calvinists are nothing more than Muslims, and these 5-point Calvinists and these 4-point sovereign grace freaks are reprobates. I mean, the cult leaders of sovereign grace are never going to repent. They're just going to keep hardening their hearts. I mean, I think God's already rejected them, to be honest with you. I showed in a clip yesterday how they were saying God is evil if he doesn't intervene whenever somebody sins while blaspheming God. So they're just tempting God to kill them, basically. I don't know, man. I don't think these sovereign gracers are going to be having a good time here on earth, and they're definitely not going to be having a good time after they die. That's all I can say.